Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Meat Boy. Today we're going to be doing the Dark World side of Chapter 3, the Salt Factory, and I know I say this almost every video, but this is really the point at which the game has been pushing me to the limits of my skill set when it comes to Super Meat Boy. The reason the videos have slowed down a little bit is actually because I'm finding the stuff that's coming up to be too hard, actually, and this video took me forever to get. Well, let's say these levels took me forever to get good enough at to be able to do them in one decent recording session, and that's even with a lot of editing. So the regular Meat Boy videos are going to slow down, but I think I still have enough bonuses that there should be a pretty solid flow to come over the next couple of weeks. That being said, I know maybe I'm talking a little bit too much about the progress of the Let's Play at this point, but it's been a while, so I thought you might be interested. I think the next video, not to spoil the surprise, but I think it will be almost the end of the game, really. I intend to do the Dr. Fetus Dark World boss fight, which I'm very, very close to unlocking and hopefully mastering soon after. Although I imagine it's of almost indescribable difficulty. But yeah, so for those of you who may not have the patience or just the interest to get that far in the game and develop those ridiculous kind of skills that are necessary to get that far in the game, this could be a way for you to see the ending, and I'm excited to see the actual canon ending myself. Now, as far as these levels go, I actually find them insanely difficult. The first ones, as usual, not too bad. Even this one right here, I had a lot of trouble with before, but having practiced it enough, I feel relatively confident at it. But as we get further and further along, particularly the second half of these 20 levels, I'm working beyond my skill set. I hate this level. I hate it so much. If you're having trouble with this level, one thing that's really worth noting, as I just splatter myself on that saw, is there are other characters that make this easier. Commander Video, I thought, was one of them, but don't fall for that, because Commander Video is actually too heavy to beat this level, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So I would recommend Jill, perhaps. But yeah, so once you get on this big conveyor belt right here, you need a character who's relatively light. So Meat Boy will work, Jill will work. I haven't tried it with anybody else, but Commander Video, try as I might, will not work, and I would be amazed if someone could prove me wrong on that. I spent half an hour before I figured out that I was just wasting my time. This is another level that's just monumentally frustrating, and if that's what the game designers are going for, they did a great job, and I don't even mean that in a snarky kind of way. I mean, at times this game, it does seem is designed to be frustrating, and that's part of what makes it challenging. That was actually a shockingly good run. It's another level that I'm usually piss poor at, but we'll see. Again, the trick here is that you can't get the keys before you get on the conveyor belts. You've got to kind of get them on the upstroke. That's what she said. Anyway, that was a good run, but check out this replay. Yeah, so you can tell that these levels, not really my strong suit. And actually, I've been doing a lot better later on in the Dark World than I did on Chapter 3, which is a little bit strange, but perhaps bodes well for the future of this Let's Play, whatever remains anyway. This is a level where that key that you get there, if you head back to the start, you can get a warp zone. And I forget what the warp zone unlocks, but I don't think it's a character, but it might be. In the whole scheme of things, that level is pretty easy. Same with this one. The difficulty on, again, I'd say maybe half of these levels, half, 3/5 of these levels is not too bad, but there are a couple that just drive me insane and made up the absolute bulk of my recording time. Probably 3 or 4 levels made up half of the recording time for this video. Not to mention all the practice that went into it in the first place. This is a level that I think is actually maybe... well, that was a bad example. I was going to say it's maybe about the same difficulty as its Light World counterpart, but I guess that's not true, because you do have to make it all the way up again. But in the whole scheme of things, again, that is not bad compared to what you face within this world, later on within this world. Seemed like before I was saying a lot of later on in the game things get difficult. Now I'm saying, 2 or 3 levels down the road, the skill level that you need increases so greatly. Really like this level. I think the design on this is really fantastic, and the fact that you, well, I won't spoil it yet, but once you loop around over here, you kind of have to take a different path back. You can't just go through the same motions that you did on the way there. Like, that jump is totally different, as are these next 2 jumps, where you have to jump up on the wall. So that's like kind of really cool level design that sets this game above most of its peers. This level can go straight to hell, basically. Really hate anything that involves homing missiles, particularly as this level does, where you have to jump across the missile at the end. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, I will just jump and the thing will fire right as I'm in front of it, and I'll just get blown to bits. This is another level that, you know, again, the designer can die in a fire. The amount of control you need on this level is actually insane. And you know what? Going up this way is hard. It's challenging, let's say, in Meat Boy context. In the context of other games, it's incredibly hard, but in Meat Boy context, it's only medium hardness. But coming back down this way is borderline impossible. Although I did a decent job there myself. This is where, one of the few times in the game where I've been tempted to cry that some of the levels are unfair. And I know some of you out there are saying, you know, quit your belly aching, this is what you signed up for, and that's true, and I'm glad that the game has this level of challenge, because it makes it so much longer and adds a lot of replay value to it. That being said, when you're trying to record a watchable product that, you know, a couple hundred people are going to see, sometimes it's not the most forgiving. Let's just put it that way. This is actually another one of my least favorite levels on this, but I edited out most of my horrible deaths in order to make sure that the video wasn't 45 minutes long. This unedited version would have been longer than Titanic, so I wouldn't expect a director's cut to come out anytime soon. That's another one where some clever editing made it a little bit easier for me to put that on the screen. As you can tell by the, you know, probably dozen Meat Boys that have now been reduced to 2. Another level of mine that is not really high on my favorites list, which is it's kind of sad because I really like the Salt Factory in the Light World, but in the Dark World it just does not jive with me for whatever reason. This is another level that actually that on the flip side I'll praise for really good level design. I think it's fantastic, and you know, it does take you a little bit of practice and a couple of trips through the level before you figure out the MO or the strategy that you need to use to beat it. But once you get it, it's pretty good. Plus, it's got a bandage, and at this point in the game, any bandage that's not borderline impossible to get is a nice addition. Now, this level is actually kind of a curiosity because, you know, for my money, despite the fact that I just died, I found this easier than the Light World version of the level. The Light World version of the level is pretty much exactly the same thing, except those 4, I don't even know what you call them, 4 girders in the center, are replaced with blocks that disappear. I think the missile launchers in this one fire a little bit faster as well, but actually would rather have that one 9 times out of 10 than the Light World version. This level is horrible, and I mean that in every sense of the word. It's got really nightmarish difficulty to it, and this took me forever, as you'll see in the ensuing replay. But just it looks so ugly, and I think that's what they were going for. Oh my god, there's so many. There's probably like maybe 3 dozen Meat Boys there, and only 3 of them made it to this point. So you can sense my frustration at this point, being on level, you know, what, 18 out of 20? 19 out of 20? I believe 18. This is a level that's not too much harder than its Light World counterpart. I'll give them credit on this one. I think the difficulty here is appropriate. Just levels that don't really fit with my, I don't know, cognitive models, I guess. And I'm complaining about that a lot as we get further in this game. Maybe it's better to just chalk it up to the game is getting harder, and it's getting harder a lot faster. For all of the bad-mouthing that I do for the Chapter 3 Dark World, keep in mind that most of this is just coming out of a place of frustration. Had I actually just done better, I probably would have been a lot happier with the level design. But I'm trying to find, you know, the silver lining for this cloud that oftentimes is just raining on me constantly. And to be positive, I really do like the Dark World levels later in the game, and for whatever reason find them a little bit easier than this one. Which is strange, but, you know. So here we have the last replay. You can see I've got, you know, again, maybe a dozen Meat Boys, and only 2 of them make it this far. So I'm reaching the end of my skill set as far as the Salt World is concerned. So yeah, my expectation is that there should be some more videos this week. I'm really hoping to bring you guys the Dr. Fetus Dark World boss fight, and that's going to be my main priority for videos to get out this week. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed me complaining and ranting. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.